Three mistakes that most investors make and how to avoid them. So, if you're just starting out in the markets, you're probably making at least one of these three mistakes, and they could be costing you thousands of dollars. Most investors think they're playing it smart, but they fall into these common traps that keep them from growing their account and getting the snowball effect working in their favor. So let's break down the three biggest mistakes that beginners make and how to avoid them. The first mistake is not validating the market that they're investing in. You can be very skilled, you can be a good trader or investor, and if you don't do your due diligence, you could be working way harder than you have to trying to invest in the wrong market. I mean, it's just like an entrepreneur. You might have a really great execution on your marketing. You might have really good financial abilities to organize your finances. You might even have really good sales strategy and product development, but you don't operate in the right market. And if you don't operate in the right market, it's going to be way harder to try and be successful or make any money. And so when it comes down to this not validating your market, there's two things that I look for in validating the market. The first thing we look for is there growth experiencing in this market? That's the first thing. Are there like companies that are in the market that are seeing growth year over year, quarter over quarter? Is there more spending that's happening? Like, for example, in AI, we know that AI would be a big industry in 2024, 2025, because some of the earnings reports of all of the companies, most of the earnings reports from, stick with me here, Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, they all were saying we're going to invest bigger in AI in 2024 and in 2025. And that was just indication that the market was growing. And then there's also statistics you can look at. But that's the first thing for validating your market. The second part of validating your market is seeing the usability or the usage of that market. A really good example is, like, for example, if you were looking at NFTs had a lot of hype. A lot of people were looking at the market, and basically every single news article that you see online was NFTs, this market's exploding. But when you looked at the actual usage and you looked at how these were being used in businesses, it was very, very low. And so that kind of indicated that the market wasn't going to be as explosive as it had pumped up to be. And the same thing is true with markets today. You might have a new technology that comes out and everybody's maybe really excited about it, hyped up about it, but you have to look at, is it actually being used? Like, one indicator we'll use for quantum computing is, are these companies plugging into businesses? And then we see they're plugging into businesses, and then you start to see IBM announce we've had $1 billion in revenue, and then you start to see the actual usage taking place, the money being spent, but also that they're being used by companies on a consistent basis. So that's how you validate a market. Again, just look at those two things and you'll know exactly if a market is one that you should spend your time in and invest money in. Now, the second mistake that most investors make is not having a plan. I was on the phone the other day with an investor, and we were talking about how he has this business where he runs yachts from port to port around the world. And he has this business in the yacht industry. He's telling me how when he goes out on the ocean, he has a plan, he has a checklist, he knows where he's going, he knows exactly what time he's ending up, he knows the weather and what the weather looks like, he knows what even other ships are doing in his area. So he can actually, if you ask him at any moment on that journey, he's going to tell you exactly within an instant, confidently, exactly where he's going, when he plans to be there, what he plans to do if things don't go according to exactly. He's got like plan A, B, and C. And the same thing is true with your investments. It's not the same as being an entrepreneur where you still need a lot of planning, but you can kind of like wing it and test things and see how they react. That works in entrepreneurship. In investing, there's more due diligence that has to be done around the plan. So looking at the company's the company's projection and where they're going, but also looking at the risk of how much you'd stand to lose, and then having a clear criteria that the stock has to meet in those ranges so that you're getting into an investment that makes sense. For example, I'm not going to buy something that's at this resistance where it notoriously sells down, or in a market when we know that they just spiked and all the prices went up big time. It's a good thing to think about. Warren Buffett, for example, says buy when there's blood in the streets. He's referring to when all the stocks are red and everything's gone down. That's when you could be looking at opportunities. Now, I'm not saying so much entry, that those things are not as important as having a plan, because just because something's a low price doesn't mean it's necessarily a good deal. And just because something's a high price doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad deal. It just matters on where you plan to ride that investment or where you'd like to sell it, and then also where you would sell it in the event that it didn't go according to plan. So number 3 is going to be listening. This is the biggest mistake that I used to make when I first started out. I would be walking. This is one that I think everybody struggled with. I'd be walking through the hallway at a campus that we were on, and I would talk to one of the professors or maybe one of the students about something random, and we'd talk about stocks, and they'd say, have you seen this stock? You should look at this, or this company. And I would blindly, just go buy the company. It would never go according to plan. I have this good friend, Ben, my friend Ben, who I grew up going to school with, and he works for Rocket Lab. And he also is a software engineer and was working for different companies when I was living with him in Boulder, in Colorado. And he was working for this company called Sabre Astronautics. He could tell me all the insider info about what's happening with the companies, why some might be an undervalued play. Rocket Lab was at $3 at the time. Now it's at $20, $30 a share. And then there's ASTS, Space Mobile, that was like $3 a share. And now it's, I think, $35 a share or something like that. He's telling me about these companies early on, but he has a first-hand look. He has all these facts that are very clear that he could tell me what you, and that's something that led to me being able to invest in those companies and get a good, solid understanding of what I'm holding. But some people, they listen to some random person that says, I saw this article on Yahoo that this says it's going to be, and I know that most articles that you see on Yahoo, they're not actually legit. In fact, one time I made this video on this stock, Super Micro Computer. This article stated that they were no longer working with NVIDIA. And this is a big deal because NVIDIA was their biggest customer, multi-billion-dollar, the number one company in the world as of now with AI. And Super Micro Computer, this Yahoo article says they're not working with NVIDIA anymore. And so I cover this article. It turns out that it's not actually right. So people are telling me, Will, I sold and the stock kept going up. Even in their earnings call, they said, NVIDIA said they were working with Super Micro Computer. You're spreading misinformation. And it was all these things, these bad things came, even my own decision making on the investment, as a result of listening to people or random sources that don't have the credibility or have the facts correct. And that's one thing, like one of the biggest things. If there's one thing for all of the mistakes that any trader or investor looks for, and it's just these 3 habits. One of the biggest things, these 3 habits are validating your market you're investing in, going into a trade with a plan so you know exactly where you plan to enter, what's a good deal and what you'd feel good about, maybe even that you could sell quickly, or that you have a plan for how long, the time frame for which you're going to be holding that asset or that stock. And then Number 3 is listening to the right people and getting around people that have the results that you want, that are experiencing the growth that you would like to experience, and that have the information that is accurate on the companies that you're investing in. And with those 3 things, you'll be well on your way to building a more successful portfolio and transforming your plans, your mindset, and your approach to finding more money, more profits from investing in companies smart. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. If I earned your thumbs up, smash that like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.